ambo emene amati results. It is not even our 4 LC 3, those LC 1 up to LC 5 ni teachizo amabetu alo ini teachizo ba amadi akuwa de zingazo bizone zoke niyo amanado celebration yezo ya yo in ya mesele akwe sele akore safa wa 4 to LC 1 to LC 5 wale ni councillors LC create pia vini LC 2 pia dia teachizo razi ale vini our 4 teachita ba marienda avita babare ni amagite zo pali bana avita bazondo no maria resi yo nzini yazo kolese yazo kina our 4 minute teachita se alikola yo security road ani ba alo neko security obona amane place ba security road neko afa security road ere ba dia ni toto security ma agite za ere amavo village yadale ere amavo kuada ere bina amavo pari Maracha sipiri aliende afa mina ne our 4 eyori ni yazo dia mokelisi yo de mane mu yo amane mi pie doare ele ni ye dano ele di alia amavo challenges dodo leki isu corona over ele di alia ti ebola over ele di alia ti eyo dodo oke ama affect ale vini mungu na one for fair vini leadership amati present mosebe ni tete yozo kini ada leadership ni asibazo bizo ebola trizo doro ega puri ebola ezani amatokolisi anayo ampo yozo kini president amadi ni ma vision ebudia se yoke nezo RDC ma vision vini azingazo lezo nezo kini ba every you gather ki azo mabiniki ko yondondo le mesu ikiko no budia se amate azinga piribero amorozo opobazo yo erni babo ima yake RDC adios kona ama nikirandra ebola ni muzo 2019 sibodalia mbana alia bodalia okolia ebola okole feanzi wake akuwa almost aminili anzi monita chakera ne totally affected anzi azili suki ale zo anzi play ki anzi akupianziro azika kiskulu si tezo anzi azika kiskulu si tesar si dalia yode ki ebola play ni muzo dalia president no decision duzo do dalia ameswenda ne ebola da woni eyo ya maroti on stoko afevene awalikuwa mini committee bro amani tele yozo kina awalikuwa mini vini yo leadership ni yozo beto ebola da ngoni ade vuto bizo bele raris mate gada na titata bana ebola tizo le tipa makoko covid betua lole ameni covid mani yozo covid ni muzo bore ale bana andra ko bazo tizo bore ale tavene baba adana afata bana covid tizo le kisasa azingazo alozo de baka mu pari toilet ro ale mama bayikiti komba de hima akidio zote le tavene sasa de president yo mane ba lo andra roso ba ko mamuke aroso mi certificate ko ayo hadre li bupi de ali president o du de ali ama address andre budu risi du to wini ba vaje de pris yazo kini banga covid aroso ba ko mamuke aroso ba vena andra so ba body mamuke booster dose so kaka ay base ya body ali ani certificate bali ba so zo ki ba ye check pari mini yesu muzo base ya community mini muzo fizo ngo ya ni public office mini muzo fizo da ali ba me check ya fariki matega madi Maracha ba lo ga fariki eso piko mamu eso ba vene eso piko mamu kido booster dose so aro ni kama seria da ati leta dance dia zo covid play ki ma ebola be asone ebola ma tota bade ni de tizore de bani andra azo azidi ya tidne tele kile ebola more dangerous agavene covid ga so amani ama iya morozo amana yasu community ya leo nzo azo letima ma tichi so that ma finance ma unitama ezaiko ma fina ni development amantale zo Maracha ozozo amabele tobi utuzo ezaiko bene after one for a minute amerezo mini ba leader ro mini opeka ko bene bana appoint kan bazinga ba taken ko office ya lesi sub county ya Paris play materializo ozo ya benefit zoras ani ejo diki ankira bola general challenge skitrete and then covid challenge skitrete especially anzi amadi teenage pregnancy amadi Maracha tuki uramba and the forgiving school awiki go school dika kupana na covid gozo pa school ya and even if even andra ani amadi afamani su akua anze maza kozoriki yekandra namba ni sikiwe vile sende play ki business andra mani yeriki andra singabani mazia ze afikidiara hata NGOs andra mondo angwa matibasa na febi government NGOs amadi do diki azili koke zikira fokivele ani mata dega amani ugu va ilo itsendrazias depidi muzo fizeli tusimaria de celebrate so kwa jenga zo Christmas modu de celebrate so dalia le mama baki amadria azu azibani twesu group alia bani batazo ndele kima akata da neko so that mafakia na mari challenge and ku de siza amane tozo amacho family net ngonia amacho afamanta le amadria kisu ngonia de matia bia makobeni ala wa for femini ala vini mini challenges diki the time ike ko ani yo amane de nevene dia the insecurity party azia amadi Maracha ali of ati insecurity yepiri adeni anti aziki akiri amavele Maracha dia vini region ya lenti anti azile kinga kiri yo ega kini ba ya mugamete bale pepe president need to tell Museveni need to tell ni ba ya muatiro Malo amani atanteli mupi elidi furidini kalidi nina mupi diaria ekanga yuzunia eka adale atania eka zavago yani eka ngamene ega kini president ma amene current leadership amadi can't be run ipidi by mojo susira mimi seza anamane lomene orikukoreka amilebeko mingamedri avera akaba baka ni security kakinga mi superior nzialiara midleka onti mevini trifusu bera askone leadership amadi de ale lo kokoro emini yo security vile amadi Uganda aliare amadi na kira security amadi dikia magite moke and ba zinga vile ani government de oza imozo susibini ko mate game atani ni ayani mevina anze mbapi bodeki e ba zidale ka kile mu ni obe yo dale ni yeso kansi idubele mi initiative muzo eyo ledki report zo bani muzo bani ledki obiso ama aware na madriana Maracha de ngazo baze ngo lebe mu detach attack detach ya pa askari vile unity bani ba aware police post plate le attack twice dia and then ya mayo nze de bani ba gbe andra ale aware fo fe askari amadili ni askumva ni mbozo askari ma juale zusu pazo ya dia askari de kimba la ba gbe pa nikira amayo nze de ruma to material so eyo dale de ki kamene ba mi diele ya ni nubirisi matega le mimo bi river eyo da ke kozo and the result vini ajaje ba de amere fora o visionia ba ze ba beva where very young didi ba ki recruit ADF and okwa ze amani Tanganyika dia okodo of vini usu jefe ba ko ngwadi amene forest ki jefe ba ko ngwadi and alelo mini afa social media mini ayo nzidi ekega social media mini ayo diki gamete e control phone diki kwane misesa phone hata mini ba mini yo nzezore le ma ami die ni zero phone is also recorded somewhere down there e mini ta yo ega ke ko bani ko diki we are aware as a security matami yi eli mupidi ali ba as ko kweli agapi ano e depi mini sendreza de lemi ji yo azia sana le kenga de ko yo rakira angani mi yo kini ko mi ama parisi amanga mwasi antu ba mi die de mi yo nti yede neko atamanta brengazo ya RDC road ya rateka ama vile akweka ama vile district mane ngazo da pare mtoto amane azu da dalia eke yo dale de baka no ma die ba manga murubi banga mo punishment si ba ne chop minital ayo de ko zo banga mo fera kan ko zite Uganda vile da ayo midi dilima fezora anima iya ma ayo de insecurity tichizo ADF bana ya ngombe ale lo mini ADF kenda kongwaria I think amayare ki udu dia amadi UPDF mukida ADF waziri kibodira azida pakera dela ama we are also aware yozoki na amani ra ADF kaka de ali anzi amadi west na dia kitchen e kama mvaka wa afadhali yani ale vile love family ni parents ni mi vile anzikia kuwa da timuyo ile rebellious the against the government amangami ni dilima fent as community efe ni mi nyakame ni nyakuwa rara mi send the swingazo rebel policy amangama make sure ke ni send mi swingazo rebel mi vile family unitape zondo the government and military security fe government and military yife government and military arofe government and military vini afandondo ke fe de doa mizinga ale rebels pia ezo government kisonga na zora ngane yuko anima iya ma anzite yuzuro afazi supinga yepi koleke amvu amadidi yati amvu sasa ngone kini mitamvu ya agiri kami ulisu ngone mitu amvu ya were ni aleno ulisura afasi pirali tasipirali amvu di magimi tengone yare nyaka mini ba dareke mitu ozo sende suzo were ngone yare edi moke mini aso free other than many those men who dress music me as mini music ozizo kan ko megama tena ba security break na me do music ale amako kira ani ale yokini ADF kichi amane do proceed to celebrate dia amama o akimilepie pari amane muzori maria ba amane azo ama gieri ki yekia ya mama ni kichi ba deriki asizo ale yonze yo security break dia anze mviki akuomo ama asiki anji jikini ba mo anski fe kotinia tebe mu bibe koti pida e target ngodi ya mazini kiku ane matave de LC zikia i mebele village dalia ba aska ke anski tre eyo azi ezora de temo paru dalia yo la ki uzora asko anji nyini bane be bo de ki amesune city ya madre ruo de ba do anji azikira sasa ATF be anji libe mutiji be type mutini ko mutino vazi bane rinde rekin elioro tebabi city de mun azinga training for ATF matega akakega mecho afu drisu anzikitizo muzo ATF kanko ba mu pile pigabete ediso organize piliki atizo disiane mingata nini nyane ba bara tipiki ale nomeni emina anzi magiteria lifo silia amama obikia anzikia adiye afaine yele kija debia nizo usiduzu anzi ni patozo muzo vene atazo leaders ro muzo amaza kozo yondo amaroti amarangale ima support resource bene ani mataba imiba panel ayo recruitment leki epiri la koke yoni kita ade awarifa femini Christmas ni achizumo kenisi awarifa femini unity tsu security berarisi awarifa femini mini andra anzike o presu school wararisi ada amari Christmas nyarele leke abasi sile ezokeni sa wale chapili ya lama mwanzi matipe school sende bane zane kama za diako kama za sende bane rams ki school January aziki mbezi so anzi mesuka no udri muzo unito muzo amaza kozo district amabele zo bele eliajerisi amadi maratari ya project kitete bane obo yediki ala wa for febele mini community no sasa mini project gamete bele bane ti mididiki on zoka uzoke na afanya manelisi especially yori yadara maditara especially ma youth mu pibe ngapi ministry ni matiti piti opikini RDC ni yawe mechado angonero because amani project ni afade amani beji amani afade ete mani kini community marisas marachari ki project gamete ni fe azi gamete ni jiaronia afa school play kia afa boa hall play kia afa nzile desania gamete ni sende bazo alene ali amani azingazuti ya Maracha rural safa mina walifo yozoke ni eli mupi diaria program dodo gamete ni jiriki emiba community ro imuke afade azikine afemeni nekini ba yonzidi ayo andre menebo ni reporting office madini office chairman LC5 village office even sub county yade ni yozoke na marite muria project kina radia yo amani de animal keku ani matavene ba leader ro kei mini aso leader ro letamiere yo mamini ditseli matiere and in fact amani dia gama accountable dusi atamane office liki kozo bodaria ane akake amilege ko sase ayo nzia amani ye sase linganzia amani tidi mavuti obi sase mimi na nsikia tabecho gamwe employee district mali ase mali me permanent singazo de alia ko character ministers ko on ground in Aris eka nyangoloro banga yokini ko miandra blere andra nyamia tabi be baba media kolera so ane minta as office de alia o kwa family ba mi ruete la ma enstane dozo kene le insta ba mini diteriti Otherwise, me as a leader, laying that means just a servant. You are not anybody, but you are just there to serve. You must be let others me as a bar or colebi, you're picking the time of instead. They are only place I want to tell them, I'm as a leader area, I'm bigger than bar money self. I know money, I'm but I'm a vehicle, but I keep them. So, Annie, Baba Fister, Bama, and Maracha to Bene, Alle, your project, you move it, you move it 2020, the Real, your Bamaracha, meaning Manga Ayikosi, Akake, the two project key supervisory, a Yapia, and select community road key report to government, the RDC, security, LPG, key report, and over there, Musizo, Amateur, Masin, go there, Amani teaches two hours. Under PDM, places are said the PDM will have allocated Paris to open one of the area, send the banner for the bank and you are Mexico. Send the back of the area about the group. Idea managed about 2 alone. I send the Suso Maracha under PDM with the keyboard. Gamet and the moon's legacy. Muso is looking and send the Apamano was already Pesu market in Iraq. So I mean, so that these projects the key should not be frustrated, and we need to say that we achieve dream of the government, dream of our community, and the dream of that society, even the family, households. What is our dream? That must really be our dream, and it is a community dream that government is now trying to support. There's okay there, but Suki said that Abamokiki, Afo, and Maria, school fees are Mamma Fair, Tianscaro, Mokedaria, Mama Fanzania, don't know any talent at the Benelo. So therefore, Maria may be PhD Chizo to support the PDM, to support any other project, youth livelihood key, send the money for the women entrepreneurs skills, send the money for the Bamayo to really get ourselves out of poverty. And the Mali Chizo to a government. I mean, leadership dodo. Elected, even appointed leaders in the area, Zingazo to see Maracha a better place. Badana and also Azumani. And Alamuyo and Zeware, yo, and Yamble, corruption, and totally the idea they know money, bad leadership where they live. When you are in a leadership, you must know that you are a custodian of a government money or assets. Whether it is in terms of resources, money in per account, the district bank, whether it is the assets, motor on job, anyhow, the key. There's okay, come next year. I want to say this as an appeal. I mean, even directing to my leaders who are driving the government money, I mean, vehicles, when they are supposed to be parked. I will be arresting some of these guys. Don't even be surprised, meaning when I stop you, who is driving a government vehicle during the weekends when the car is supposed to be parked. I will stop you, throw you out of that car, and take this car away from you. The law of this country is very, very clear that vehicles are supposed to be used from Monday to Friday. There are only 2 cars which are supposed to be, or 3 cars which are supposed to move throughout, or 4 in the district. One is the car of the security. The police vehicle is supposed to be throughout, and it's not being driven anyhow to make money. I'm aware that even in my district, they have even reported at times, even the 99 patrol car moves and distorting money. We are not going to tolerate that. If that is what you have been doing, I want to really caution you not to do it anymore. We are not going to tolerate it. Wherever we shall see you with this car looking for money, getting money from the community, we will reach for you. We shall reach there and really apprehend you to put you before law. 2, another vehicle which is supposed to be with all the time is the RDC car. That is a vehicle which is supposed to move, whether it's weekend, whether what. The 3rd vehicle is the chairman LC5 vehicle. That car is supposed to be with LC5. Then the last car is the council car, the administrator's car. But I've seen some of the district vehicles that are just being driven in a rural city, in the roads here, when even it is even, like even this time it is the weekend, the cars should even be packed. And the more so, these cars are driven by officers who are not supposed to drive a public vehicle, I mean government vehicles. Kindly, drivers are employed in every district to drive a government vehicle. And by the way, this sounds as a warning to all over, not only the Maracha district, local government alone. I've often seen in a rural city here people driving a government vehicles, they are parked in the bus. Assuming that this car is destroyed, how are you going to really answer for it? Vehicles, and I want really the administrators, the cows, the LC5s to really support the security to make sure these vehicles are parked at a very good place. Because they're assuming somebody comes and even damages this vehicle. How are you going to answer? So therefore, it sounds as a warning. Me, I am not the RDC for Maracha alone. I can mean to be, I'm an RDC for the entire country. I can arrest any car, anything, anywhere I see. I've done that even with the later vehicle one time when I go to the officers using, police officers using it for selling chicken. I even arrested them. So therefore, I want to read this as a warning because I've seen it many times. Unless if you are moved from one place to another, you are there for a duty, that's when you can use these cars. So therefore, I want us to have, corruption is not about only getting money. Even misusing government property like that, that's a corruption related issues. So therefore, I want you people, to support us to see some of these things come to pass. Because government wastes a lot of money. If we are to use our vehicles very well, I don't think government will put another money to buy vehicles again. We would have been diverting some of these monies and resources to put other things or to put it in other service delivery. So therefore, these issues of corruption, even misuse of money, project monies, must stop. I use the word must because if we don't stop that, at the end of the day, we will all be culprits. We shall be culprits. And when we arrested you for misusing the government money, don't hate anybody. You hate yourself of why you were brought up with that kind of character. Because all of us are Christians, we also say that we go to church. In the church, they talk about even stealing things of stealing thief. That's why even the community is now losing interest in us as leaders, as security leaders, that the moral justice is becoming the order of the day. Because people are losing even trust in us as leaders. How would you know, go and now tell some people who are groups you organize people, how would you now go there and speak? So, meaning, me, I'm going to be very tough on issues of financial accountability. We have seen other projects which are still stuck there. And I don't think that some of those projects which are stuck, that have abandoned them. You better really be serious. This come 2023, the issue of financial accountability must be very, very clear. It's not only be seen on a paper, because I'm aware people always present absolute papers, but on the ground you don't see anything better. So when we see both my community, Maracha, a KSC project, clearly send an EC, send them the Zirari, Bamane, Eyodi Mardeki, Maratara, and even a Madi sub-region, the Alia Mardekera. So that also sounds like we are seeing like other sub-regions in other places. And indeed, fighting corruption is not a leader. Excuse me, over the RDC, Yadulesko, over the LC5, Yadulesko, over the office at Yadulesko. Fighting corruption must start right from our homes. How do we spend money in our families? Do we spend money equally and even giving a better service to our people and our families? That is where extra corruption starts from. So, Mata Mai, Amechikiti Tuano, Yozokina Mangani, Angwa Madrijo, Sibeli. Eyo de Marile Yon Yari. Community rather me, a letter, a Mavu leadership, Amanga Mini Yari. I let your officer RDC Blero, Yozokina Amanga Mutiti, MX Sua, 2023 area services all government in the Maratari must reach to the right people, right? And it is my role as a central government representative to make sure that whether it is whatever 100 students, let's send a match up and through that, that's when we can see development, we can see change. Our community maruti, service delivery, service delivery, school key, structures, give us a roads are making on GDP because that the PDM is coming, we need the better roads. Even the water sector must also improve. Maracha. So therefore, everybody should be in board. Maracha and what the keeper mangazi, afamani na onzili by doing so, afamani na onzili ba mjiebe. Akwezi kala masene na ba mjiebe na maruwa ve. So that I would already my own send the government claim for their personal gain. And I want to sound this as a warning to some of us who support people anyhow. Manager also the other one, the other cookie in so much talking about be back. I was can send you who send a minimum of taxes from any gap in the Kakamara. Back the taxes in your government, in your government, and castigate Sulu. Why do you support such a person? Do you know by the time you are supposed to support like that? Because the only money which government was supposed to give you are you sleeping in the same room with that person who has stolen the money? Never support thieves. Don't support people anyhow. And when you are always let somebody's problem be your what? Always a problem matter me a paroko. Me cancer. You see people do wrong things, you only go and talk anyhow and support them. Do you know what the person has done to your life, to your children, to your community, to your society? By the time money is stolen, the service they are not there. And that's what we are saying. We will notice, even tolerate and even see it happen that there's a government who will even say, so therefore, many years, you must always talk what you know. You must always support people for what you even know. Don't support people anyhow. Katara ameva, katara army atani. Miantika ugone kinebele ugone and easy can be daddy. You made a fact you made a dream yaka so that mean to let that old man be even ashamed of what he has been doing. Many times we support our parents knowing even that our parents have been stealing things. And then when now children are now, groups have now come, so many out, youth groups have come. Why are we now castigating the youth groups when we are mature people we are stealing? Either from government, either from society, either from churches. This must stop if we want to develop this country. We must stop our characters of doing these wrong things. And I want to really community to keep back anyhow. Back Arubo, back send the Dubo, Aruka, Chokia, back send the Dubo, Zilanendra, back send the Dubo, structure test school play Kiba Siku. Amaderi mark time in here, Kenny government has been here for since ages. Government has been here, yes, but much of our money has also been stolen by people who are working with this with the government. So therefore we need you people to support us. But I mean the military service local federal. I therefore really say Madrid Maracha area, let's be vigilant. And even in the other parts of Western Nigeria, let's also be vigilant. We are talking about corruption. Corruption I know very, very well. Corruption about Western Nigeria, some region, the they are all having corruption elements. Monies have been eaten by technicals. But some of us who are even the agents of even state are not interested to talk about it. It is like as if corruption is in our districts, they are not there. And when we go and see people, parts of other parts of the country, especially when you go to western part of Uganda, people think that the area is developing just because there is a much state is giving money there. Those guys are working, the little money which is given to them, they put it in a place to do right things. We can only develop this sub-region if all of us become agents of development. But when we are agents of corruption, we will really be market timing here. And moreover, even we have a very good market already. We are better placed than any other of these districts in this country. Border Congo takes a much of our money apart. Amane Ozoriki. Sudan, there are too many Sudanese who are in Uganda here. We have a market, but we don't want to really utilize this market by mobilizing our people to do better things. So please, as the leaders in the region and the districts, let us be very vigilant and let's put where this money is where it's supposed to be used for. So and therefore I really urge our technical officers, good enough. These days, market singer, my player poor. I'm a wiki, but quality, you are done, gazo, service by the Fezo, quality service delivered the Fezo, Amadia with the idea. And then, Madia Mari, I think there's two alone. With the other agencies like anti-corruption, like IGG, like police, all these people are there to report these issues of corruption of any nature. Corruption, whether in churches, by the way, I want to say this, at times we don't know that even corruption in church can be reported to IGG. We don't know at times. We have so many corruption in the church. I'm a Christian, I also want to speak like a Christian. The church leaders do not even hate me for saying this. So we are not developing, not only in one sector, but everywhere we are not doing well. That's why up to today, even some of our churches, we have failed to build them. And we have many Christians there. So kindly, we must as a community report any nature of corruption to the agencies where these people should be investigated. So, and for us to achieve this, we must all be united. Akakiti Chitu are also united because we cannot do any development. The leadership should also, so the first group by top are not two leadership. Whether technical, whether elected, whether what kind of leaders, let's all work together. And let's also accept our mistakes. Where we have gone wrong and somebody says, here you have done a mistake, we must accept. There is no problem with an angel. Even the angels were questioned by times by your king. You see, there is no way that we can say, hey, your money here is perfect. So therefore, where we have offices, somebody has come to us and says, RDC, let's work together and correct our characters, correct our behaviors, and we serve our people with one heart as Christians. Because we are all going to be answerable before our God what we have been doing to his people when we were leaders down here. So therefore, when we reach before him, we'll be always be given a better judgment. So I never educated, I think as a tool. There's something you are Madrid, my Ekitu Alubeni. I live in our warfare by Madrid. Or disco up in PD. Yes, in another disco, you know, organized this and singer, giving development. But more of this disco scheme, it has been disorganized in the community, especially Maracha. Back on Goba, the bad idea back at the move, I also go soon like him. Clan fighting has come back. And he resolved the water. And so until people came, real production and teenage pregnancy, it did on the rise. Naso don't go back and go back to Chelsea, and they are singing the Gaki schools. As for Kaketa class, animal, and the key, like your one, the kilo result for your superman's assessment here. These children don't pass very well. The moment they now always get a 0-0 can go only 10% out of 100. And the kid goes back to school. Because the kid will risk max why do they perform poorly? Because they are not even attending the class. They are busy during the day sleeping in the class. By the kirikis. Akakita the Ogubano, by the Kiba Kim, you see, and do even. I'm a total business of over the back. A person who operates even in Dokani, at least Dokani, I look at Dokani as I getting the anime back to 2 years there. The person who operates disco, the benefit in our Loro, is suited, they need inventions of Bazo Paretaro, and they are only two. Or else you will only get one person. Is that an employment? Let us analyze some of these businesses we do. If the business you are doing that has a more negative on the society, on the community, Mate, you're getting this business in Aziba Mochara. And if we are not serious, I want to say this as a warning to all of us who said they are for them, they are in a better position, who said their children are even reading in maybe in Budo, in other areas, or in the better schools down there. In that village of US, if it is only your children who are educated, mind you, your children are only on the time bomb there. Whether that entire community does not have what to eat, and they don't have anything to support themselves with, they will walk to your children who are better off in that village. And even in security, you also have more for the Buddhist learning. It's like a The better community is the community which can support themselves. Afatire superior, ngapi mupi nipira kene, afa yali yo kama ndani ya mangabo twadi yabo kanko. That's why evidently I want to say this. I'm very sorry to bring this example as kwa madria motra. Most times misu nedrasi kake our family as ali nebo. Metaba school la pira ro metable cha resource envelope. Drani ye bale elected leaders de mamuki do confident said of any drani ye bale nyaka bale ye retire bale avela le meno central. Assuming we were all supported, we are all well off. Eyo ye pidale batali musende nego traparia zeka belo nyaka femona zilindo. Ata anzezi amasa sidino okudupiri. Eyo azitu barokini basasa okoze group senior. That's why times even the families don't even last. Okuka ni vile kupida waze sana vya mboko ye bazi sana vya mbona hata kule chumi njikura. Matches were buying okoka na do their family kitchen. Okoza sasa shi je okone family diko. Ba chief friends kitchen. And friend has given you middle okoda ati right kidu ezichuti. I can say this because even Mabule Maracha on what task the other day during the Christmas time all who was the next thing is Abu Kidibile Moko Mago even in other. So kindly, when we support the community to stand for themselves, we will not have a burden. How do we support this community? Government programs, let's go as agencies, sensitize community, so therefore, let all this together, and Ongo amanle ba Maracha de maskanda di banle ongo vele di ke alo mean the so business ongo vele di azote you must be registered, you must get the license with the government. 2, you must have a soundproof body of the local RDC jomini si ile tenda baka ongo ba dabo noise yasikilele asema kwa veko because there is no single place in Uganda here milo afa disco me play never put ya ba ki yone niyo nazo de mini muzo ngo ba so da mesu na esa asiba ngo ba lo on a compound me be cha de cho BTC pari ba le ngo da to so da ya azakuma be gapi o drebe ba da de choka da nyaka nyaka. We are aware that even the polio most times polio mesu ingazo zia polio amanga amadi kongo ya so da ya ama never in the countries polio ni ingazo ale ya de point. I tell you, I'm going to police. Polio, they are measuring hygiene. So, I only say, I have a so-called Bongo or the Kio Monikin low, banning as all body and to keep a motive. And even in Maracha, schools can go government institutions in Zilati and Nidiki, Paribano go by so they let the Kimara, the Kitrabo, and the Mupio Guadaki. All me every letter they are the development the big area and skill new do and keep the school very care and Pantodoki, but I will go quite as each of Wabba and Lemune, Babunya and Yapaki, Busini, Babel, Babel, John Kiobes. So therefore, Amadi and me, Pongo Babilo, Alome Gongo Badi, Mivele, Jobane Gakin, a Gongo Balani and those, Bam, Parina Gaki, Udu Goda. Isi rakaka irizode me license gaba teboti by the time me goro license for everybody we can go town clerk license for everybody leni rajo na miss e mo de musba ba supervision here not only you alone the entire security team ma supervision na there technical team bade le ma mukira afana there so that we all say this is a better place bana muzo for ke bazo me license de me get amadachi nazo de divine mibele la trin mini gada ki ango mini de baka de mafara ki ayo yene ga fara ko trin su goda ani ala wa fo fe mini e yo mane ga ki ne tama ma shi ango me radi ki e yo awa ki ana mane yo de ki muzo de mbozo ele ya de tama ma haki clear teachers akakele ama eradia. And I want to now say this to our officers who are in charge of security, especially the police. Yes, what we normally do is prevention. We are not going to now let communities commit a crime and then we go and arrest. The issue is prevention and prevention. Let's really get in touch with them and say that some of these issues which we have raised here, in case they are happening among the community, we are able to reach there before. And indeed, many times that our police officers have been accused of distorting money, of even getting bribes. I want to say this, buddy. Not all the police get bribes. Police is an institution. We have a few elements of officers who are still behaving like that. So kindly, let's support the police. And I want to sound this as a warning to all of us, especially those whose children are having affairs, especially the teenager pregnancy. Anziki tidine tapo, anzi wereta ile nitazo koreki kake anziki su amumali yale. We are going to be very very vigilant. Mivile akuba tivara ba wariani yale mumali ya mame bivara ataro bavara tiki dimendria mame bacho. Ane afazidi niyo etu suleta di baka tidria mati schoolwa so that afazi usuduzuro ele ali yo. Two asizo devine mob justice leba apoja. And it about UDP mob justice riki the tadans are mama looking over there gama tadine leba punishment badri di yiko. Agu esike yazi onzira mama berichi banjiri azita madriye mama African dunia fa punishment tazibirade ma wani yoni me fave ma yani yazi onti dika kobele and after me na wa for me na RDC ale yo Udia Ariaba Manodu and Bomoke, President Amadu and Oyonze, Babera, Amamuki Radio Gia, Amamuki TV, Gia, Mozen and Zama, Zakozo King, Oka, Amateur, Massi, Goni, Uganda, and Rotuan TG, Muza Masizone, Goni, Bamangani, Z, Uganda, the Meta, a better place, Amadidia, Maracha, better place, Benny. Bandra is Sobako, COVID is Kodiki, American. Party under COVID for so the corona government for corona for PD the tadans di mesumi so ngame corona niko aro kiti ruke miso and matabe the ba azinga government president Yohana Amin of his office mibile ya la time certificate raka we are going to begin enforcing this mimi so people the mimi so aro kiba Sudan amaze the kandra me aro bani so is about rarari ale boba mama masupiraro amaodrako parivini bani resort alia fatama yobrele ebola kitiri gone di Syria banga azukiri ko ebola nde de derati le ka take abagi ama mobikia ati mask pietia so that amesukini aso de kobele ani ayo yodi mini mbataro amana membazo bibie ani yozokini ndi tusinupi alia ama marekiva ale yo mini denga kudi eri dusidiale chako ede ba dusumburu alokatabo afo kumani ayi nivo family dalia de erikiva izikini eri diseleta dan zadiye. You must have a plan. If you have a plan, you cannot even look for that 100 shillings. When you have a plan and you get 100,000 like this, that money will do something in your family. Many times we even look for money without any budget or without any plan. And that's why we spend money recklessly. And this business also of beginning drinking very early, being idle. The president Kiribalo, one of the things, the Paria Mana Matrasu disco played earlier, Azo Slim Road, even as the Congo to do. Slimu Diki. And they are seeking yosas, but Mukondo Mayori Diaco. That's why you see majority of the teenagers are to keep pregnant. They take clearly that and secure a celia can kill a celia without a condom. And as a result, it's not only that pregnancy alone are so STD. We had a nurse who was giving us a Maracha. This lady is pregnant. And the reason pregnant, the idea is so very low slim. I mean, so Matama, he kills. Ama cooking a lata and saying, and sketching anyhow, and skill be and scare so and Kisuri. And they came up with a Mazacopi, a man of Bazuko. I result even in your man lelo jari. Laziness akakile ama afazi sura kukingata. Majority of the airport youth are seated on the roadside. Nyaka ini nyade nga ngwada ba site yutu nyaku mtakibine ngaki yutu nyaku. So akakile ama ozora your laziness azini your azoki so anyhow ba nziki avi very young akukiza awadi for minimum RDC ele mupi ya mani muso dali amanya kimoke amani fizo ele dali amani yobole ba driama haima work plan be kan ko budget be kan ko plan ama ale list ya issue be ba mangazi plans ba bobiani angwa madidisi family madidi eti Uganda madidi eti zotandria sibe ayo yode mongurusi vina angwa mavle marusi. And I've said all this for God and my country. Maybe unless there are some few questions, I will now ask our press to maybe raise one or two, and then we will close the press conference.
I think you have talked most of the things in Lumara, but you can give us some summary about the security.
Now, maybe before you add on that, mine is just on the issue of mob justice. Like in some districts, the district security leadership and also the political leadership, they've been having some kind of monthly meetings with the court officials to discuss issues to do with thieves and so on. Because these people, you see, the communities, they have now taken the issue of mob justice because the communities feel police and the courts are not serving justice for them. That's why most times when these thieves are released like this, some go into the village, they start to brag and say, you arrested me here, you thought I was not going to come out, now I am here. So can Maracha district have some kind of meeting, if not monthly, but like in 2 months like this with the court officials of Koboko and the Arua like this, so that they can address some of these issues to say, at least, let the court not release these people just for like that. Let there be some kind of fair process whereby the community will feel indeed this person being released is released because of lack of enough evidence, or the person is guilty and the sentence.
Thank you, Madam Yolokora Siderakaka. Ayo bani dizi de alikini Amadi mob justice in Chade angry adiosiade because there are no community ki even says trust can go. Ayo tade ne ga kene ko akakibare ke bebo akadi kiti koti ya kan ko akakiti police yabo Amadi ngani drima bani chota fe mokere fe bani dudade Idride Sasas Madia, and they did. I want to say this Suru a Kabadi Kibi, what your money soon as to Tolmako in Maracha, yet Paria Zera, the kid. Yes, a Kaba, Tevin, a Manega, and Yaki on Zikibo, Ayo Yare, they got put police in Muniba, the kid, Ziko, Kubaka, and police, money soon and Abad Maracha, percent run out CPS area, yeah, they didn't. Amabaki arrested on Zibera. Evidence Tokyo Ati, Tebazi, the Pinupi statement CP can go part of the Sweri Tirogamatani, King Anamani on the idea Rada, and the Allen evidence Rodiki, Mangapa to Koti the Dria, or Bizo Gamatemaza, Kozo, can Koti Maza, Kozo, can go evidence Pezo, police, and Yotabana would be Bizo. Most of their courts, Mani Suria. Some of the people who have been bailed out, given police bond, and at the end of the day, Kaketa Kotia, Kotiniti Piaveri, because we don't want to go and make statements in the police. You arrest somebody, the day you arrest somebody and they damn him in police, you think the court should take it upon herself to prosecute these people. We don't prosecute them unless you are there to testify. So therefore, I would also really urge the police not to rush up with also some of these files, closing files when they said they are still being investigated. There are cases which have been investigated, they have taken quite long. There are some things also I see that police also rush with them. Very, very fast you find even the person is out. Now, that's where the trust now, community loses now the trust. Because by the time the community have arrested somebody and the next day, the next hour, this person is even back in the village. And by the way, it also becomes a threat. Such a person becomes a threat against those whom they think they are the ones who have reported them. Because they will come back and begin now threatening the community. So kindly, if you have reported, you have said the office of RDCs all over the country here are open. Where you say that there is injustice has not been prevailed, you walk to the RDC, explain yourself, or walk to the DPC's office. Because these cases are not handled mostly by DPC, it may be only with some of the security agents like the CADs who are handling these files. Go and explain yourself. Say, no, this case you are disappointed in the way they have handled it. So that by the time, by the way, police that does not mean that case is finished. You can reinstate a case. So long as you know you are not satisfied with the case in the bar will kill people. Go back and say you are not satisfied. The upper case, court grade 1, 2 key, you can bring this kind of things either you can come to RDC's office, to DPC's office, if a file has been mismanaged by some of the officers who are handling this. And I really want the police to really see properly. Some of these things, the community are losing trust in us. This come 2023, let's really build back the trust in the community that these institutions of the government are there to really work together and see justice in the society. And indeed, this can also be supported by LCs. LCs, there are people in our areas we know, and Ziki. We don't even bother to go and report. In my district, there are others who say, this even at times when they call me this, don't even mention my name. But what are you? When you are a leader, you must always be very sacrificed. A leader must sacrifice his life for the betterment of his people. Why don't you go open and say, you man, your children are thieves in this society? Even the community back media, but as everybody will know that this was our spoken LC1. Some of us are the ones even watching and seeing these things happen when we even see that answer keep on ziki. So kindly LCs, you have the powers, you are state agents there. The government we are what we are today because of you. Otherwise, without you, the security will not be what we are today. Kindly, let's work hand in hand. Walk to our offices so that we see how we can really bring harmony in society. And the man got it, kind of material, more by a quote, at a sassy come over to one sassy, because the moment you promote more, the next will be your father. The next will be your father, your children, or your mother. I don't know whether you will feel happy when that one happens to your family member. So kindly, please, our offices are open in case issues of such nature are not properly addressed. So, and then the issue of ADF, really I want to say this in English again. The ADF issue is there are elements that people in our society here in West Nile who think that they will change this government going through the ADF. I want to really assure you, UPDF has been invented as the best soldiers, army in Africa here. We have gone to Central Africa, we have moved to other parts of Africa here and fought successful wars and reinstated peace in their countries here. And I want to tell you, even in Uganda here, we had these negativities. Kony was here, killing people, but when UPDF came for Kony is a history. We have Lakwanya was also defeated here, and so many rebel groups. You who thinks that for you can overthrow this government, that is, I want to tell you that's a nightmare. Where even you dream that you have 100 million in your pocket when it is not there. And that's what you are dreaming. And you are not going to change this government through that arms you are thinking about. And I want to assure you, you make that mistake, you will face the law yourself. We have very good laws in this country, and they are very rich that it will even give you a better punishment. You will even regret why you were either born or why you started that war. This is a legitimate government voted, and if you want to change a government, We have a constitution which has given you all the mandate to change the government. You better use that line. And as a West Nile and people from West Nile, I want to really tell you this. I think even if you have seen where we are today, we have always said we are behind because we had too much long insurgency in our region here. I remember even when we could move to Kampala at times, even it came a time when we were moving in convoy. And if we want to go back to that, by not even telling our children that this is where we came from and where we are today is better, let's try to support the young children we produce here and go that direction. We will go back and we regret why we have supported this kind of activities. Me, my advice to you people who are parents, who are the communities and even the societies in in Uganda here, especially in the West Nile sub-region, whose children have already been recruited and engaged in such kind of activities, to desist from that. But don't think that we don't know about you. It's just a matter of time we will reach there and pick you. So I will advise all of us gang against such kind of groups, because there is no way. What perhaps means at times when we are supporting such people, I don't know who is this Western Island who is contesting, who wants to become a president that people from here are now recruited to support. If you have any candidate there, 226 we are going for elections, let him go and declare his intention of contesting. We will use the votes to vote, he will use the votes to mobilize for him. But if you don't do that, I want to assure you, you will become a refugee anytime. You will leave this country, you will leave that village. We will put even security to see you from money to money. You will leave this country, go back to even wherever you want to go. We are not going to tolerate this, and we are not going to accept any rebellions against the legitimate government. This government was voted in power, and it will only be through elections that you can easily change this government. So therefore, I want to really warn those who are giving their children to go out there, say they're going to disorganize us. And I want to ask all the Western Islands, people from Western Islands sub-region here, to gang against such kind of families, to gang against such kind of community who are still mobilizing to disorganize us all when we have suffered, people of this region had suffered. So for us, as the government has supported us, let's support this government in all the programs that they have brought for us to see a better West Nile than really being disorganized with very few those who do not want to work. If you don't want to work, just sit and wait for the food and eat, but not supporting people who are going to disorganize this government. Thank you so much.
Maybe second last. There's been this operation of witch doctors, which is here in the city. But we've seen like in Nigeria there has been some kind of witch doctor, and how the district security is going to emulate a rural city to make sure that we get rid of witch doctors in the region. Then the last one, your message for the new year.
Ale lomodi bi mini ani di mani afama no ve witch doctor ro ki ade ni arete. First of all, baba don ve witch doctor ro da ki. Ba da ki afa evile ku da ata uru alo u ba de jele kariri si evile yo. Jo baba ni CSS amane lazo amabele Western Island no CSS ba la ni evile yo. But not even one day that you can get a trouser or a better or a better trouser. Not even anything in it also yet disordered the year. How do you go to such a person and say you want him to give you any advice how to make money, how to get a job? First of all, he has not got a job himself. He is jobless. Second thing is, how do you go and ask such a person, can you mean what he has got? The first, maybe as your picking which doctor is already mad. He does not reason well. Because he doesn't reason well, and you state you see at times when we are talking about disability or having somebody being mad, a person who does not reason well is already mad. If you don't think positively, You already mad. The only problem there is the madness. Maybe the makata you had, but now you leave your family. Me rueti azoti. Science mecho tiko because of mongo fema tiko. I've seen this many happen with women. Many of our women are now being deceived by these people that when you want your husband to love you more, him wa atipi azeago nye kanin ijingwa ni ijiba nyakalia. Oh, yes, me aziki muda akini hakupiri lelama bekana direki liko. Me mwaru aziti baada hakupiri maruo mangazini. By the way, sex is about mindset. Give this man a proper food. Nyakabane nyaba ruwa opo ijipira kan food the body of people. See whether good cannot be active sexual. Try to impress your husband all the time. When he comes back, you will receive him well, you talk to him well. See whether this man will not come back and give you a better love. See whether you can, if you can support your husband in terms of development. Whether this man will not support you, together with you, and they say, for you to go there, that's a total lie. In fact, you are making it worse. If people be back, minimum that is your exit. I would have made to kill me, and I can't have a single because he had a good use to be as a committee. Katazia Zingakuti, a guy over any household any poorly because you are going. And where will you be? Bame driver. Back a me driver, and Piazzi came a draw, came a guns, immunity, Churamadi soon and Skidido. Eloita di town yalese askidechi njileti sidia nyakayo uguamari and uguamari west nile yadi. It is this aniketed for azibani utiba ne their sizoko isuki apazinya kwa koliki. A child who has not eaten food, why can't he go and stay? Why can't he become a problem to the society? Mama niyo mane yate ala walikuwa leadership wa ruwa ni muzo which doctors are ruwa di abadi yo toro to win. By the way, that is a very huge number. Which means that even in a day, families here are Western area, or they never told to it. And in fact, we should even not have a kind one. But today, as we are speaking, talking about witch doctors, I can't say anybody I can clear behind the bars, it will be the best thing. Because we know them. And we know what the witch doctors have been doing. Because when I got to hear on a radio that this is what I read, some things by this time such people should even be behind the bars. In fact, I want to really appeal to my security leaders of Arua City, with the entire leadership of Arua City, to go back and arrest all these people. If I can buy that Lisu and then I would never say welcome to Lisu. It is in fact even one of the things which was disturbing me. But I want to say this. These witch doctors are not only in the Arua City here. We have seen many families, many things happening in families out there. And the worst thing is, witch doctors in me child have a problem or any. Somebody who is supposed to, doctors care about the first of all just use your blood cells. I mean blood in there. If they want to know whether you have malaria they are causing it. Why should you tell a doctor, Kinema Dinigani, doctor, okay, me Dinigate, women, young inversions, and Mamida. So please and please, I want to say this. Mad Germany, yes, I know in Maracha which doctors are there. If you are there, and then by the time this come this year, I'm going to take a stock over whether these things are there, and I will go and arrest you. I will arrest you. And I want to say this, it is also related to some of the churches here. There are churches in my Maracha. I want to say this without any hesitation, with due respect to our church leaders. There are some churches which are connected with these things of witches. Can you say, by the way, I want to say this. By Andra, Katkumi, Singaria Kenyo, Bible, Alabas Kenyo, Bazikinga, Nabia Zikinga, on Zema, Rusin, and they are there. Bazibaki, it's Tomo Ziban and Tizora. Oko tikite ngene njowa kupia ko dala tiki kwa dos. Ike chomba tira ba yo andra Maria tivle de Yesu ate ba ni usidi. Ba la ne ko oku azika amadu Uganda kan ko wandi de Africa de ba ne ba la zo ko tibira de. Amadi kanisa aziki de ate njorante. Me problem dare me opo da ba mi ni ba munguzi abara there. You are not a doctor. Mongo, by the God which listens to you, which can easily bail you out of some of these things, Mongo agu zini de choni mi atiko, hallelujah, mini nzokuko. Mongo mi atipi di mini zimi tisiri. Mini mi asia da yo da de zezo am very. So, kanisa lazima Maracha that. And if that is what they are going to continue with this year, doing it, I want to say this, I'm going to close that church. And they don't go and do it there. And we are aware that some of these churches also, there are people who have said you people here in Uganda are from other countries. You are not even opening church, but you are an agent of so kindly, if you are doing those wrong things, desist from them, and we are not going to see this come 2023. Which doctors did it? And at least I want to say to my colleagues in Arua and Arua City, this 500 which doctors may manage on ZDK, I want you people to go back to radio and say you have now cleared them. There are also radio stations who are even advertising them. If you are using your radio for advertising this, I want to tell you that we have laws where we shall also report you and your license will be cancelled. You cannot advertise the witch doctors. And you are the ones misleading the community. Use your medias to tell the people right things so that things which can bring for them development or changes in their life. And I want to say that I don't want to hear women going to witch doctors and even stripping themselves naked, and the witch doctor telling you, I want to sleep with you, this is a medicine. I don't know whether that's really medicine. Kindly, this must stop in our region and in this country.